I want to go back, he wants to go back. I want to go back to the farm, far away from home, with a milk pail on my arm. I miss the rooster, the one that used to wake me up at 4 a.m. down on the farm.
My name is Scott Bain, the old farmer, and this is my dog, Mimi. We got her about 7 years ago from the Humane Society. They were the ones that named her Mimi, and we just kept the name so it wouldn't be confusing for her. Growing up on the farm, I say conversationally, I've had about 30 dogs in my lifetime so far, and out of all those dogs, a lot of good dogs, mind you, she's been the best dog I've ever had. When I had some medical issues several years back, she was the one that stayed with me all the time. She helped me through it, and she was a companion for me and did an excellent job of taking care of me. In fact, I've got to say that we've bonded better than any other dog I've ever had before. So I think she's very important to me. And now that we live out in the country, I want to make sure that she stays safe when she goes outside. This is my hammer. I've got quite a few of them, but this is my favorite hammer. It's a tool. It won't help me protect Mimi. This is a Beretta 9mm. I carry it with me all the time. This one is loaded. I carry it to protect her from coyotes, hawks, and eagles. While I'm sitting here, I'm looking out in a tree, and I'm seeing a hawk sitting in a tree looking for prey. She's a perfect size for hawks and coyotes for prey. Now, I don't hunt, but I have a neighbor of mine that I allow to come in and hunt on the property, and he hunts coyotes. And since we've lived here, he's taken 6 coyotes off the property. So I carry a sidearm all the time with me so I can protect her. At night, we use flashlights, and I use a 12-gauge shotgun that I carry with slugs in it. I want to make sure she's safe. These are the tools that I need to use. Now, there's been a concern about firearms throughout the country, and if solving the problem of incidences in schools or in large areas, if taking these away would solve the problem, I'd be first in line to say, let's outlaw them. But these aren't the problem. Just as the hammer isn't a problem. The problem is a social issue, much harder to solve. If we take firearms away, then people will just switch to other things like automobiles and bombs and bows and arrows and things that we can't even think of at this point. So, in a sick, pathetic way, this is better than what the alternatives could be. And I don't like saying that, but if we remember how the Murrah building blew up because of the use of fertilizer, I wouldn't want to see that happen every day, and I don't think you want to see it happen every day either. So let's go back and deal with the issues. The issues are social issues. Back in the 50s, in my youth, we had extended families. If a youth had a problem, there was a large family around the person to help stabilize the person within dealing with the issue. Not 100% effective, but a good 80% effective. Since the 50s, the government has gone through and destroyed especially the black families with their extended families. It's basically a mother and kids. But if you look back in the 50s, they were a prime example of what an extended family support would be. an excellent example. And you can look at whites, Mexicans, Latinos, however you want to say it. Most of them had extended families that helped support one another. But we don't have it anymore. We barely have families in a home today. So what we have to do is change the way that we see the family. We have to get the government on the other side of the issue and supporting extended families, supporting a mother and a father in a home with kids, supporting working through problems rather than quick fixes of getting a divorce. We need to teach people everyone, how to use these safely. You don't have to like them, but if you see one, you should be able to disarm it, take the magazine out, make sure there's not a round left in it, and then turn it over to the authorities or whatever has to be done. It's a tool. Everyone knows how to disarm a desktop stapler. They should be able to do the same here. Back when I was growing up, firearms were seen everywhere. Some school districts allowed students to keep firearms in their lockers for hunting season, better than carrying them around the school or leaving them in the cars where they could be stolen. Put them in your locker and leave it there until after school. My school district didn't do that, but others did. It's a tool. And therefore, a tool is not a problem unless it's built wrong. For example, take this hammer. If the construction of this hammer caused the metal head, to fly apart and injure people, that's a manufacturing problem that needs to be fixed. And the blame goes to the manufacturer. If I hit my thumb with it, it's an operator error. Same thing with these. Firearms are very safe to use, probably even safer to use by someone who knows how to use it than kitchen knives. So let's consider taking the time to reach out to someone that we've seen with a mental issue, frustrated. That's what it is, a frustration level up to the point where it breaks them. Whether it's a minor amount to us, it doesn't matter. They're at a breaking point. This is the only solution they see that they have. Let's give them other solutions instead. That's the way to deal with it. If we want to strengthen laws, we need to strengthen the laws to make sure that there are larger consequences for individuals who leave firearms out where non-qualified individuals can get a hold of them. It's simple as that. But the solution is simple. The fix is hard. It'll take the whole country coming together rather than you people, it's us. Working together, recreating families, recreating social communities, recreating a togetherness that we used to have back in the 50s that we don't have now. Everybody's angry with everyone else. That's not the solution. The solution is everyone's my friend unless you prove otherwise. And I'm talking conversational friend, not the deepest friend, your 5 friends that got your back, but acquaintances that you're comfortable talking with. We all need to be that way. And in this country of life, our neighbors are that way. And we need to grow that out into the cities. We need to be there for those who are hurting. Last year, I lost a relative who committed suicide. He respected me. He enjoyed talking with me at family reunions. If I had known that he had an issue, I would have been very happy to talk to him. I wouldn't be his father. I wouldn't be his mother. I would be a third cousin He was high school age, but he would probably look at me like an uncle, and I would be willing to sit down and work with him and talk to him and let him know, even though it hurts, we can get through it. Most of what you're hurting is just the teen years, and you'll grow out of most of it. But he didn't have the support. His parents didn't realize he was hurting that much. Maybe his friends did, and they didn't step forward and say, hey, he needs help. And when in doubt, most times, not always, but most times, if you're not comfortable talking with a principal or a counselor, go and talk to a coach, a gym teacher, and say, hey, coach, my friend here is having problems. I'm concerned about his well-being. Could you talk with him a little bit? That's the way to help. Rather than saying, yeah, I think he's going to blow everybody up. Hope it isn't me. No, step forward and at least show your compassion towards a person, that you understand that they're hurting, and therefore you're hurting too because they're hurting. May not be able to help them, but at least I understand your pain. And that's the first step in helping one another. But some people need professional help. Most times they just need a good friend that has common sense and can do critical thinking. Or an adult that you can point the person to that can talk to them and help them. And that's the first step. We start coming together as a people again. It's us. This is the old farmer, Scott Bain. Be well.
Good morning, Modern Steaders. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow at Lumnah Acres, a guide to modern homesteading, self-sufficiency, and freedom.
Down on the farm.